Hello, Adventure Queens. Hope you're all okay. My name's Amanda. I'm 35 as of yesterday. I've just had my birthday, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the past 8 years of my life. So I grew up in Chesington in Surrey, and I've always wanted to travel. When I was 22, I went traveling around the world. I went to America, Canada, Fiji, New Zealand, Australia. Um, did a lot of different things. I did my paddy course, diving course. What else did I do? Skied and snowboarded for the first time. Did a skydive. All of those crazy things that people do. And a bit after that, I went and worked on a cruise ship for a year. With P&O Cruises, 2 different ships, 2 different contracts, and I worked as a photographer, and that was amazing. And we travelled to the Mediterranean and over to America and Canada, and we did 8 months in the Caribbean. So we did the transatlantic over to the Caribbean and just stayed out there for 8 months, and people from the UK would fly over and they would go for 2 weeks, 1 week holidays, and then fly back, but we would stay over there. Barbados is amazing, and St Martin is my absolute favourite. It's gorgeous. Did so much travelling. Went all the way through the fjords, Norway and the fjords, and it was absolutely amazing. And then when I was 26, 27, I moved to New Zealand, and I was there for 8 years. So basically, I hate the winters here. I always have done. I hate the grey and the dull and just the rain, the drizzle. Ugh. So I told myself that I was going to feel much better if I go to New Zealand. And it's somewhere that I've always wanted to go. I wanted to go New Zealand, Australia, and Canada, and those are 3 places I wanted to go and work and get a visa. And I wanted to do all these things before I was 30 and get the visas and everything. So I went over to New Zealand because when I was on the cruise ship, I met a Kiwi guy, and we were together for a bit, and then he went back home and I followed him out there. So I thought, great opportunity, and I can go and suss out New Zealand, and I've always wanted to live abroad, and maybe my life is meant to be over there. So off I went, and we didn't stay together that long. We broke up, but that's fine. I did my own thing, and then I met somebody else, and I was together with him for 6 years, and we're not together anymore. But basically how I did it was I went out on a 2-year working visa that you can get before you turn 31, and then I was working at Bungie as a photographer in Queenstown. I lived in Queenstown predominantly for the majority of the time, and then I got sponsored, so I buy the job. So I stayed. That was another year's visa, and then Will and I got a I got a partnership visa with him, which was a couple of years. Then I went for residency through him, and then I got permanent residency. So that was 8 years. And so basically, I spent the summers out there and the summers here, because I always wanted to come back and see mum and dad, and I just got this thing that I can't be out in the winter time and have everyone here enjoying themselves in the sun without me. So had to come back and enjoy the summer too. And what I did was I took a couple of months off work every year, came back here, 2 or 3 months maybe. If not, I would just end the job, come back here, hang out with friends and family, or get a job here for a bit, quit and go back again. So that I don't like commitments. I don't like to tie myself down. So if I can just get like any sort of job, I do. And I got actually into the film industry quite strangely when I was in New Zealand. I was working for Bungie. There was an advert on Facebook saying that we need about 400 extras for this Milka advert. So Milka chocolate, if you guys know that, it's like the purple bar with the cow on the front. And the Swiss, I think it's Swiss, and they were coming over and filming in New Zealand in their summertime. So it was going to be filmed, the advert was ready for the summertime in the following year in Switzerland, I guess that's where it's from. And I ended up being an extra in that and loved it, and ended up signing up to the agency, and I ended up working at the agency in the end. And it was amazing. So when I came back here, one of the years, I signed up to all the casting agencies in London, and just ever since then I've sort of picked up work over there and over here, doing background extra things or stand-ins or walk-on roles. And it's variety, and I like variety, and you get to meet different people, and you get to go to different sets, and it's so interesting. There's a lot of standing around, but you get fed, you get paid, you get to go to different locations. It's amazing. So I was I was chosen for an Uber advert in New Zealand, so I was in that. I've got a lot of things I've been in, but I can't really remember them all. But the most recent is Rocket Man and Eurovision. And just before lockdown, I was filming Britannia season 3. So that the other half of that I'm meant to be doing should be coming up soon. So I just basically just picked up work here and there, because it's very easy to get work in New Zealand, especially in Queenstown. It's a tourist destination, so there's a lot of summer jobs, winter jobs. So you have people just coming for 6 months at a time. So there's always lots of jobs going. It's very transient. A lot of people coming and going. So that was the only hard thing about it, was trying to make friends, because you make friends and then they'll leave again and off they go to Australia or back home or something. It was a bit hard to make long standing relationships. But it's also really good because you get to meet new people, fresh faces. There's always different people in and out the job, so it's really, really good. So going back to New Zealand every time, I knew I wouldn't have a problem with work. I could pick up work easily, and then coming back here, I would just pick up the extra work. And one of the years I actually spent a year here because my mother wasn't very well, and I ended up working on a farm full time doing gardening. But yeah, so it's basically the visas and having met the right person. You know, as I say, work visa, sponsorship visa, partnership visa, residency, permanent residency. That's pretty much how I did it. And I got my Australian visa, and I got my Canadian visa as well before I turned 31. I just unfortunately didn't make it to Canada, so that's gone in the bin through certain circumstances. And Australia is still open to me if I wanted to go, but I'm really settled back here now, and I love being with my mum and dad. And it was it was amazing, great experience. I made some great friends, and did a lot of different road trips and worked at different places and met amazing people. But there's nothing quite like having your family around, and I'm very close with my mum and dad because it's just the 3 of us. And I'm more than happy to be back here, and I actually feel more settled now than I have done ever before. So that's really good. So yeah, that's been my life really, back and forward, all over the place, travelling here, travelling there, working on cruise ships, living in New Zealand, travelling to Australia a lot when I was in New Zealand, all sorts of different jobs. Yeah, so that's me really. So any questions, I will be speaking to you on next Monday, and yeah, hopefully get to chat with some of you then. Have a lovely week, guys. Speak to you soon.